Hello, this is a relatively strange video today, and because it's outside the usual. What I try to do is to kind of show analyze what I've been doing in 3 steps, my pre-corona years, which is like 7 years of changing my values, understand myself, and set myself free. That is like from 2013 to 2020. And then the corona kind of period started, and those were kind of 10 months. So it started on the 1st of March, and so I call that my C-caused turbo development. So I had 10 months in which I was able to understand human behaviors, and I kind of saw human behaviors live, on TV, but also talking to about 200 people, communicating with them directly, and never backing up, never withdrawing, always trying to discuss until they kind of explode. And so from the 200 people I actually talked to, maybe only 20 or so would still talk to me. And that was very, very freeing. So here, set myself free. And I couldn't have kind of coped with what happened in those 10 months if I wouldn't have had these 7 years of changing my values, understand myself, and setting myself free. And then what I did also in those 10 months, I developed a complete independence. I wrote here almost but I'll do some maybe more videos on this almost. So develop a complete independence. So that means I can cope with being kind of pushed away by others. And then in those 10 months, I also started to take action. And this is kind of the most important thing, to get into action, because life is never static. If life is static, you're dead. So that means life is action. And now I'm looking forward to step 3 of this. And this is, I call it a little bit, my awakening of real freedom. And so I don't know how long that will take. And so I wrote X months to put everything into action. So, here I started with action. So in 2020, I started with actions. And in the next months and years, I will put everything into action. That also means to redefine myself and redefine what a free life is all about. And I'm looking very much forward to these next months. And in order to know along what I want to kind of put a little bit of structure in this, what I call here a free life. I actually like to, first of all, do this thing, Maps of Arndt. That's my name, Maps of Arndt. So what are the key things, the key values, the key activities I want to do? And now, why do I want to do that? And that is why I came up with Goals of Arndt. So, and the Goals of Arndt, I actually developed here with this Happy Active 100 Plus channel on YouTube. And so I want to be happy, I want to be active, I want to be healthy, and that for as long as possible. Here, symbolically 100 plus years. Now, this requires, as often I mention in my videos, in the former videos, that requires activities in the areas body, mind, food, and the meaning of life. And if you break down this, because this is relatively abstract, okay, there's food and body and mind, but it is, what are the activities, here this active, you can do. And here, what I see as very important is that your finances or your freedom, because as I think, who was that? Tolstoy said, money is printed freedom, or coins are printed freedom. So that is how I see money. So this money, actually, this is also like to redefine what, redefine myself and redefine what life is about. It's not about having lots of money in the bank. It's about being able to lead a free life. That means leading a free life. Where do I want to do that? Do I want to travel around? Do I want to stay in summer in a different place than in winter? And so on. What activities do I do? Activities that could be traveling, seeing new places. That means maybe activities like learning, like camps where I learn, so be in community with others, and so on. So activities I do on my own, with others, with nature, and so on. Then obviously the food thing. So what do I buy? What do I grow? What do I collect in order to nurture myself? Then my mind and meaning. It's very much different, but with mind I mean to train, as here body means my muscles, my well-being, and with mind that is my muscles, my brain muscles. So how long can I concentrate? How good am I in thinking about things? How can I kind of do a marathon in thinking? Can I think for 10 hours and things like that? How much knowledge do I have? How many, in body, how many sports do I know? How many sciences do I know? So that is the mind. So my tools, my toolbox. And then the meaning is, how do I use those tools, mental tools, in order to get me a sense of life, that to actually do something so that my life has a sense, or as you might say, as that I have the feeling that my life has a sense. And then intellectually, that is some kind in between meaning and mind. So the intellect, so do I understand math? Do I understand science? Do I understand human behaviors? Do I understand the cosmos, to the space and all that, Einstein, Heisenberg, all those guys? Do I understand them? The philosophers? That is what I mean with intellect. So I've read, as I documented, about 100 books and watched a lot of videos on like problems, math problems, scientific problems, and so on. So that is one of the things I still have lots to do, and there's so much out there that is also a reason why I'd like to live many more years than 100, because if the mind is kind of operational, then hey, there is so much you can learn that 100 years, 14 hours a day will not be enough. And that leads me to time. So you have to be very careful with time. I mentioned 14 hours a day. The rest I might sleep or relax. But 14 hours a day you can actually be active. So per week, that's about 100 hours. But still, time is limited. So what do I do? How do I use my time? Time during the day, during the week, during the year? Do I go on holidays? Do I have relaxing periods, and so on? So this is how you manage your time. And then maybe the most important thing, your family and friends, because humans understand human behaviors, and that also means my own, understand myself. How do I work? And here a very, very important part is friends and family. And because that is if I would say, maybe following a little bit Alfred Adler, it's your communities. And your communities you build together with your family and with your friends. And as Adler did not say, but also with yourself. myself. And so you have to love yourself, you have to love your family, and you have to love your friends. And then you have to, you could also say, love the others and the enemies and so on. What I would say, you have to not love the others, but you have to understand the other humans and respect the others. And as Shakespeare says, there is no good, there is no bad. And I change that a little bit. The feeling makes it so, because thinking would be the intellect. But here we talk about the limbic system. And so Shakespeare was kind of mixing in his statement the two brains, the intellect and the limbic system. And that is what I always want to state. And that is something, please think about that. And that may require your intellect, a philosophical education, that might require your mind, and that might require in terms of meaning, is that meaningful to you? Is understanding Plato important for you? Is that important to understand math? Is that important? If you say no, then fine. There is no good, there is no bad. The feeling makes it so. But in terms of the intellect, I would say, yes, there is truth and there is lies. And now the question is, where do you want to be? And as you can maybe guess, I want to be on the truth side. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.